All right, welcome to the latest tutorial, gradients and blending modes. Let me get out of here, go back over here. All right, so I'm going to go to Photopea, and we're going to assume that you have opened up a new photo. So I'm going to make this bigger. So you opened up a photo, and what I want you to get in the habit of doing no matter what is to duplicate your background. I just think this is a great thing to do. So to do that, all you have to do is drag it down, all right? And you're going to see later on why that's important. But get in the habit of duplicating your background. Today we're just going to play with a fun tool in Photopea. It's also in Photoshop, the gradient tool. And it's a tool that for many years I didn't want anybody to use because I thought it was so tacky that I just said, no gradient. But now I'm kind of beyond that. So we're going to try the gradient tool. So you choose the gradient tool, and you have to know that before you do anything, you have to change some of the options up here. So first off, there's all kinds. There's rainbowy ones and brown ones and all kinds of stuff. If you're in Photoshop, there's even more options. We're going to start out with something maybe like this today. All right. And then you can choose which shape you want to do, diamond, linear, so forth. And right now, there's a blend mode up here. And a blend mode is just sort of how one layer or this effect will layer with what you are doing. So if it's on normal, it's just normal. And if I was to do it at 100%, you're going to see what happens. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag across. And I can't see anything because it's at 100% opacity. So I'm going to go Control Z or Command Z. And we're just going to take it and we're going to bring it down a little bit to 65 or so. So let's try it again. So now you get something more like that. So you have to adjust those things before you do anything. So I'm going to undo it again. So this time, maybe let's try doing something like a diamond. So I'm going to do diamond. Just do a little one. And you get something like that. Control Z. So I could keep playing with this. I could do a big diamond, go over here. All right. So these blending modes, let's try that now. So we'll do a blending mode. Let's try something like overlay and see what happens. You get something like that. Let's try another one. So what I want you guys to do today is to play around with this. So let's try reflected. And let's do it like on pin light, see what happens. Let's change the gradient. Let's do something more like brown-like. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's really kind of cool. Okay, I like that. So like if you like that one, what I would say to do is just go ahead and say file export as a JPEG and just save it. You can also up here give it a name so that, I don't know, we'll call it something like chrome. Not chrome, copper tree. So I won't have all kinds of things that are the same name. So I should have probably done that ahead of time. But now I could go file, export as, and you could do it as a PSD if you wanted to work on it more. But we're just kind of just doing one shot. What does it look like? Okay, save it. Now, I really, really like this. But let me undo it. So I'm back, and my duplicate layer went away. So the other thing that I want to show you can do is, let's say we pick one of these. I don't know how the black and white's going to go, but we'll try it. Let's do something a little bit more. Well, hue's not going to work, I don't think. Let's try screen or color dodge. All right, let's try it, see what that does. Oh, that didn't do anything. It's unreflected. Let's go back to linear. Let's do just normal to see what that actually does. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right, so we've got a gradient, and you might like this. The other place you can do these blending modes is if you did a duplicate layer, what you can do is you go over here, and now you could say, okay, let's try a blending mode of these two layers. And I could say multiply, I could say color dodge, I could say linear light. And there's nothing to this but experimenting. I mean, art is so much about experimenting. You get some, I like that. That's pretty sweet. And pretty cool stuff going on. That doesn't do much. All right. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm bored with this again. I could just say, you know what? I don't like that whole thing. I could take that top layer and just trash it. I could go create another duplicate layer. Let's try another one. I do wish there was more to choose from here. I don't know if it'll let us. No, it's not going to let us cancel that. But let's try something like this. All right, let's go to radial and let's try it at 76%. Oh, you might like that, you might not. So maybe that's, you like the effect, but you don't want it that much. So you could do one of two things. You could bring it down in opacity. Okay. Or if you had it higher in opacity, so this is going to block it. Keep doing it at the same angle. I shouldn't do the same angle. Let's go over here. It's totally opaque, so you can't see through. But we could go over here and we can now say, all right, so what would pin light do? Oh, that's kind of wild. What would difference do? That's really wild. So you can get some really, oh, I really like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to save that one. File. And so I could either save as a PSD. It'll let me. It'll download. And that means that it'll have the layers to it. Or I could go File, and I can say Export as JPEG. But actually, before we do that, let's cancel that. Let's change the name of it again. I'm just clicking up here, and I'm just going to say Blue Moon. That's what it reminds me of. So I'm going to save it like that. So I'm going to go File. Whoops. File, Export as JPEG. So you guys are going to have like all these crazy, get out of here. It's never letting me out of this mode. Okay, there. So you're getting really chaotic now because we're downloading so many things that everything is in your downloads file, right? And it's just a mess. My downloads file is a total mess. So what I want to make sure that I do is that the things that I want, I'm going to go to Google Drive, and hopefully you've created a folder for this class. I'm going to call this Altered Little Red. I'm going to create that folder. And I think that I actually put that right in the little red file, and that's fine. So I would go here, and now just to make sure that I save these things for myself, I'm going to go New, File Upload, and then find, here's Blue Moon, Open, New, File Upload, and what did I call the other one? This is what happens when you get too many downloads. No, that's a good one. Copper Tree. All right, so open. So now I have them both by Google Drive, and it's awesome. And that's all I want you to do today is to open up one of your photos that you shot for the color thing, try the gradient tool, and try the blending modes, and try the blending modes over here. And that is it.